Well, hello YouTube. How is everybody today? I hope you guys are having a pretty good day. I am out and about today on the bike today, and I am at the ARH hospital in South Williamson, Kentucky. Young lady, well, not a young lady, but this lady right over here, just outside the ARH hospital's parking lot. As you go out the entrance or out the exit to get back on the road right there, it's right here. You can't miss it. Little graveyard. Thing is, there's another one too. I had heard rumors that there was one behind this, and y'all know how I've always got to climb a mountain in my videos, right? I already did this one. I already climbed up once, so I'm gonna have to climb this mountain twice today. I wanted to see if it was up there before I got into this story, to see if that one, if the old graveyard was actually up there or not, Anyway, like I said, this one guys, I highly recommend you kick your shoes off, get you a drink, and have a seat. This one's gonna be a wild ride. The person that we are here for today is right here on the end. McElroy. Winnie W. McElroy. Right here. And this is her grave. Right there. This is the lady that I've came out here for today. Right here. Now I'm going to go over here and get in the shade and tell y'all the story. And that's the old path I was telling you about. I'd heard a rumor that there was an old graveyard behind this one, and went up and looked, and yes, there is. So I'll be going up there when I get done here. I'll go document that one because it looks as though it predates this one. And as you can see, this one's pretty old. I mean, look here. Just Winnie was born in 1894, and Fielden was born 1888. So, pretty old graves for the area. Anyhow, let me get over in the shade. Back where I was at. Just want to check that date real quick. Now, let me make myself comfortable. Now, Winnie Williamson McElroy was born in the area that would later become Williamson in Mingo County, West Virginia, to some of the original pioneers that helped settle the area. Way back before West Virginia became a state and was part of Logan County, Virginia. She was the daughter of Hiram Trimble Williamson and Emma Lawson Williamson, which ironically enough, I was literally at their graves less than an hour ago. The land here first belonged to a man named Anthony Lawson. If you guys may remember from our story, killed by her slaves. Anthony and Ann Lawson were the center of that story. They lived over in Logan, owned a huge, massive, unbelievable amounts of land all the way up here to Williamson. And, it's a half an hour drive now. So, I mean, you can imagine what it was like in, the 1800s. This was, weeks to get across, to get across your land, to get across your yard. You got a horse, and it took you several weeks to get across, your property. Anyway, like I said, they owned unbelievable amounts of land and sold this area here to a man named Benjamin Williamson, who's, was at the other grave as well, whose son Wallace J. eventually acquired it and divided it into lots. The city of Williamson was officially chartered in 1905 and is said to be named for Wallace J. Williamson. Anyway, she was an heiress. Winnie was an heiress to vast land holdings that passed to her and other family members through her parents. She and her husband resided on Central Avenue, just right down here in nearby South Williamson, Kentucky, which is considered a suburb of Williamson even though it's not even in the same state. She was also a charter member of the First United Methodist Church of Williamson, which her mother was a founding member of. For many years, she was a member of the Williamsburg, Virginia chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution, DAR. That's what it's, short for Daughters Revolution, DAR. And later transferred that membership to the Owen West chapter of DAR here in Williamson. She's said to have been very knowledgeable on the early history of Williamson and the Tug Valley area as well. Growing up in the early days of the area's development, I would imagine she probably did. So anyway, I just wanted to check this out and see what we can find on everyone. I heard, like I said, there was a cemetery on up the hill, and it looks as though, yes, indeed, there was. But it's just, to me, it's just amazing, that you're doing these stories. We did this story about murdered by our slaves way over in Logan, West Virginia, a solid 30-minute drive from here, on 4-lane. On the 4-lane, doing, highway speeds on the 4-lane. It's a solid half an hour from here. We did that story about her. The story we did earlier today had to do with, their descendants and Winnie's. Kind of ironic, isn't it? All of these stories, and somehow they all tie back together.
So I see Williamson, which is the name of our town. Floyd E. Williamson, September 14th, 1846. April 11th, 1910. Williamson. Victoria Williamson. Yeah, I'll check these out when I get home. Just says Van Meter. They're kind of not even that old, in reality. Anyways, I'll see if I can look these people up.
It's amazing, to see and hear this stuff, and how Winnie, this grave right here, ties in with so many of the other ones that we've done in the past. Interesting, isn't it? 7 degrees of Winnie. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna head on up here in a second. Wasn't planning on including that video, but I'm gonna go ahead and shoot it as one, and we'll let Heather decide how she wants to do it. And yeah, anyway, all right, let's get situated, grab my backpack, and head on up the hill, and we'll go see who's up there.